Boom! Welcome back. It's December the Speaker. Yes, I am Simba the Speaker, and this is your cleaning guide to cleaning business success. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell notification. We drop videos every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. If you're new to the channel as well, be sure to watch the old videos. A lot of my content stacks up upon one another, which means that the information will help you with some information in the future videos as well. Now, if you are someone that's been on this channel, I want to say thank you again for watching another video. Yes, thank you again for watching another video. For everybody, if you felt like I gave value for this video, if you felt like I put an effort to give you some value for this video, please feel free to hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. It costs you nothing, so I appreciate it. It means everything to me. Now, below in the details of this video, you'll see two links that I really want you guys to focus on. The first link is our school community link, where you can join our free community where we talk about everything remote cleaning business. So definitely join that link. Now, if you were looking to start a remote cleaning business yourself, maybe you're looking to buy time freedom, maybe you're looking to put money into your children's college funds, maybe you're looking to pay off a debt, take family to go on a vacation, take yourself on vacation, right? This is a great business model to start, especially because you can do it with the 9 to 5. So definitely feel free to contact me as well. You can book a free one-on-one consultation. Just book it right there in my calendar. So now let's get into this video. I just want to put this now. I want to say this right now at the end of this video. If you stay to the end of this video, I have not one but two bonus tips for you at the end of this video. So let's get into it. You guys can see I have my whiteboard. I love my whiteboard. For those that watched my previous video, I talked about this all the time. I said I was going to stop talking about it, and I need to, but I was using my iPad to kind of do some stuff like this, and it kept giving back some weird feedback. So I was able to do it through this right here. That's a little colada, so with a little espresso. So I'm going to be up all night trying to give you guys as much value-packed content as possible. Coffee got me talking crazy. Let's get into it. Door-to-door strategies that actually work, right? That actually works. So, actually, you know what? This is grammatically incorrect. Door-to-door strategies that actually work. So, when I started my remote cleaning business in general, actually, when I started my cleaning business, the first way I got my first customer was door-to-door. Went door-to-door, knocked, and, I was able to get my first person to book with me, right? And so, down the line, actually, as I started to build this cleaning business, I realized that there are some strategies you can use to be able to actually effectively go door to door. Now, when I first started the cleaning business, I was not told this. I was not told this at all. So between teaching students, watching them do door to door, studying and figuring out what works and what didn't, I came up with some strategies on what to do when it comes to door to door, how to effectively go door to door so you can find the right client. So let's get straight into it. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is very important. Target the right neighborhoods. Once again, if you see me look left, right, down, left, I have my iPad, my dual screens, everything. So don't worry, lock in. Look, so the first one I want to talk about is targeting the right neighborhoods. Target the right neighborhoods. So now, when we're talking about target the right neighborhood, the reason I put this as number one is because when you're running a remote cleaning business, right, you want to be able to charge enough where you can pay your cleaners and still invest back into the business and have profits to invest back in the marketing and operations. So more than likely, you're going to have to charge what I like to call a premium price. So the best places to go to be able to charge these premium prices, middle to upper class, middle to upper middle class, or even upper class neighborhoods. These are going to be the clientele that have the finances to be able to pay for the premium price that you're offering, that you're requesting. Now, with that being said, right, so you're going to be able to go to these neighborhoods and offer your cleaning service and offer these prices, right? And obviously we'll talk about how you will lead with value, right? You don't just lead and say, hey, this is how much the cleaning is, but we'll talk about that later. But you want to go to these neighborhoods where you know that people can afford your price, right? And so you want to go to these neighborhoods. Some key factors: home with 2 cars in a driveway. This is a good one right here. When you see a home that has 2 cars in a driveway. Now, I do want to also say something. These points here doesn't mean that just because they have 2 homes in two cars in a driveway, does it mean that they're middle to upper middle class or upper class? You may not know. Does it mean that they'll be able to afford it? You may not know. But if you do this, the likelihood of them being able to afford your premium price goes a lot higher than going to somewhere that may be a lower class area that may actually not be able to afford your price, right? So with that being said, something to look for, some good identifiers is homes with two cars in a driveway. That's usually a pretty good identifier when you see two cars in a driveway, and especially if the cars belong to the homeowner. So that is, some type of a good identifier that they can, afford to pay for those cars. Newer subdivisions, right? You see newer properties that are being built. A lot of these new constructions, right? A lot of these new constructions, depending on where you go, the houses do cost a certain price, and you will have to kind of make a certain amount of income to be able to afford these prices. A lot of these people can afford a cleaning as well. They may need a cleaning because the property is newer. Townhome communities are perfect, right? The thing with townhome communities, there's a lot of multiple properties. I don't want to say connected, but right next to each other. So townhome communities as well, townhome communities as well are a perfect place, especially because it's a lot of different people there. And usually you have to have a pretty good income to be able to get into certain townhome communities. So be aware of that. And areas near schools, right? And so the reason areas near schools are perfect as well, because a lot of times the areas near schools, you have a lot of families that tend to have kids. And the thing about it is kids and adults, but if you combine them both, usually put a lot of foot traffic into the property, and so that means that the property obviously needs to be cleaned, right? A property with two parents and three kids obviously is probably gonna have more foot traffic and be used a lot more than someone where just maybe a man and his wife, or a girl and her husband. And it's just them two, right? So you're gonna want to look for these type of areas, or look for these type of homes. If you target these neighborhoods, you would definitely have a lot of potential clients. You want busy professional and families, right? You want families because it's a lot of foot traffic in the house. The kids are probably doing a lot of different things. The parents are probably working, so they probably don't get time to clean the homes. And that goes back to that busy professionals, right? They're probably too busy working and having to take care of things. So if they can pay for the convenience, they will, right? If they can pay to not have to sit there and clean it themselves, especially while they have to work and have a busy schedule and watch the kids, get them to school, they don't mind paying for a cleaning. Now, another thing I want to talk about is when it comes to busy professional and families. A lot of time, a busy professional, the only time they have to be able to cater to their kids is usually like Saturdays or Sundays, right? And usually Sundays is kind of like a recoup day for everybody, so let's say Saturdays. So the thing about it is, a lot of times they like to use that time for family. And so the good thing about it, and this is what I mean when I mean my videos stack up upon one another. If you go to my previous videos, I talk about this, here. Right? Finding your niche, finding your market, and that targeting busy professionals is important, because a lot of times they don't have the time, but they have the money. So, in the time that busy professionals do have, a lot of times they're dedicating it to families. So you do want to search for properties or homes that are busy professional and families. Now, the second strategy for door-to-door, lead with value, lead with activity and opportunity. Lead with activity and opportunity. So this is going to be very important. This is going to be very important for a couple of things, right? And the reason I bring up lead with activity and opportunity, a lot of times people just go door to door and say, "Hey, we're offering cleaning service. Do you want to buy?" Like, that's random. I'll be honest with you, it's very random. If someone just comes to the door and say, "Hey, we're offering cleaning services. Do you want to buy?" I know nothing about your company. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you came from. Right? And so it's very random versus coming in with activity and opportunity. And this is what it may sound like, right? It may sound like someone saying, "Hey, we're cleaning a few homes in the neighborhood this week. We had a few extra openings. Just wanted to see if you wanted a quick quote," right? And so the reason I brought that up, right? The reason I bring that up is because if you come in that way, like, "Hey, we're cleaning a few homes in the area. We just wanted to see if you wanted to actually get a cleaning." The reason I put it that way is because it shows that you're already active in the area. It shows that you're already active in the area. I was talking to somebody about this recently. When you come into a neighborhood and offer a service, and you let the homeowners in that neighborhood know that you're already servicing other properties, it builds a level of trust. Now, does that mean they're going to 100% trust you? No, they haven't used you. But if they know that their neighbors are confident enough to use you, then it makes them a little bit more comfortable, because it's not like, "Hey, who are you," right? Obviously, they don't know who you are, but they do know, well, you are somebody which my neighbors are using. Another thing that it does is create social proof. It creates social proof. A lot of times people need social proof to be able to take that step or take that action. So if they hear that their neighbors are using you, then it creates a social proof for them to say, you know what, if my neighbors are using you, maybe I can give you a chance, right? And the person I was talking to recently said the same thing. A lot of times neighbors talk or review, or I guess talk about a service that they've got, and they'll talk about it to their neighbors, right? Another thing that I want to add on with this, let's say that you actually service somebody's property. A quick tip, and this is not even part of the bonus tip, so this is what I mean by value packed. A quick tip is what you can do is if you build a sign that says we're cleaning this property. A lot of time what you can do is while your cleaners are cleaning the property, you can have them put the sign there on the grass so that literally it says, hey, we're cleaning this property today. If you would like a quote, call us. Right? And so that's another level of social proof. And that's not even door knocking. That's just a little tip I want to throw out to you guys. But when you do let people know that you are, servicing the other neighbors, it does create a level of social proof, which is pretty cool. Makes them a little bit more comfortable. Also, positions you as busy, not desperate. If you're going door to door and say, hey, we're offering services like, would you like one, please? Would you really want one? It makes you sound desperate, right? It makes you sound very desperate. You don't want to come off as desperate. Going back to my video stacking, if you go back to my other video when we talk about positioning, you don't want to position yourself as someone that is desperate. You want to position yourself as someone that's busy, right? Someone that's busy. And then if you go back actually to the bottom here, we talk about extra opening, right? Extra openings, right? So when you position yourself as busy, it's not like, hey, we really, really need you. It's like, hey, we have a couple extra openings. Would you like to take one? And we'll talk about the urgency part, but so it positions you as busy and not desperate. You don't want to come off desperate, right? You want to come out for someone that has the full schedule, and you're just looking to take on more clients. It frames it as an opportunity, not a sales pitch. Look, a lot of times people hate being sold to. I'll be honest with you. You cannot just sell to somebody. You can't just sell to somebody, but you have to do it in what I like to call maybe like a subliminal way. Like you have to do it where you're selling them on the underline or in the background. You're selling to them, but when you're talking to them face to face on the front end, on the back end, you're selling to them on the front end. You can't approach it like that. So when you lead with activity and opportunity, it's like, hey, we got a couple extra openings. Did you want one? It's not saying, hey, like, did you want to buy from us? Did you want to buy some candy from us, right? It doesn't come off as that. It comes as an opportunity. Hey, honestly, our schedule's already busy. We're booked. We got a lot of people booked, but we do have an extra opening. Do you want it, right? Do you want this? We only have a couple extra openings. We'll probably be booked because we were booked before. So it comes off as opportunity for the client, right, or the potential client, not more of a sales pitch. And then it feels temporary, right? Extra opening, which creates urgency. If you say, hey, we got 1 or 2 extra openings, did you want to book one? To them, it's like, well, only 1 or 2. Like, I mean, they're probably pretty full. Like, what is it that all my neighbors or this neighborhood is actually taking up a lot of their space? Like, what about this company is all my neighbors willing to actually get a cleaning from them that they're almost booked, right? So it comes off, and this is what I really like. It frames it as opportunity, not a sales pitch. That's the great thing about leading with activity and opportunity. It doesn't come off as a sales pitch. It just comes off as like, hey, there's an opportunity for you to actually get an open slot. Once again, if you go to my previous video, I talk about this as well. Let's say we're talking about extra opening and having an opportunity for an open slot. What you can even do is add a discount. Say, hey, we have an extra space or two. Would you like an opportunity? We can even throw 20% off on the cleaning just because we're trying to just fill up these spaces, right? And then so it doesn't become a sales pitch, more of an opportunity for them to be able to get a discount on a good cleaning. Now, the last thing I want to talk about as well, is offer a simple intro. Don't overcomplicate it, man. A lot of times people go door to door and they trip up on themselves because they just overcomplicate it. They come with this long sales pitch. Look, these people don't know you from a can of paint. These people do not know you. So when you're offering your cleaning, you don't want to overcomplicate it, right? You can let them know, hey, going back to what I was saying with the offers, right? You can let them know, hey, we have some extra spots open. We're servicing the neighborhood. We're able to fill up our calendar. We do have 1 or 2 extra spots. Would you like to take an extra spot? We'll do $25 off the first clean, right? Or we can do a free fridge and an oven add-on. But you want to make it very simple. Right, you want to make it very simple, right? You don't want to overcomplicate the pitch because you will definitely trip up if you do that as well. Maybe you can do a discount for a reoccurring sign up, right? You want it to make it easy for them to say yes. We have a rule called the KISS rule. Keep it simple, stupid. You want to keep it very simple, right? Less is more in that situation. Just keep it very straightforward, and just go from there. So if you're going to do door to door, Once again, you may not have to, but if you're gonna do door to door, these are some great ways to these are some great strategies to implement when you're doing door to door. Now, when I was doing door to door, I didn't have any of these strategies, so I was doing it. I don't want to say wrong, but it wasn't just as efficient, as effective than utilizing these strategies here. So once again, if you stay to the end of the video, let's do the bonus tips. If you've seen my previous videos, I usually darken out the bonus tips to the end. Let's see what our first bonus tip is. Drum roll, that was a horrible drum roll. Boom. Use the neighborhood saturation strategy. When you book one home, knock on 10 to 20 houses around it. Mention that you're already servicing the area. Offer a neighborhood discount. Leave a door hanger. This creates social proof instantly. People trust what their neighbors trust. Now this goes back to, and you know what? I'm going to actually create an arrow. No, I want to do it a different way. Boom. I'm going to create an arrow to this as well. This matches up with the lead with volume. This is what I was talking about. The minute you get one person to book, because technically, if you say your calendar is booked, if your calendar can really only hold one person, one appointment, is it really they're not booked? If you only had enough availability for one person, you got one person, is your calendar technically not booked? So this is a great strategy. The minute you get one person to book, go to the next 10 to 20, 30 houses and say, hey, mention that you're servicing the area, that you offered, that you have a neighborhood discount. Let them know that, hey, I have a couple people in the neighborhood that's booked already. Once again, that you have this extra space. And so what you're trying to do is create that social proof. This is important, especially in a community. A lot of times neighbors do things that other neighbors are doing, right? Depending on obviously what it is, but for the most part, if someone knows that their neighbors are doing something, especially if it's something that they need, right? If everybody in the neighborhood has pools, and this one person has an amazing pool guy that he's been talking about, that he's been recommending, it's easier for the pool guy to get in those other properties because it's social proof. If I know that my neighbor allows you into their house and they're cool with it, I should be good, right? And so what you can also do on top of that, to put the cherry on top, is offer a neighborhood discount. Hey, I have a couple houses I'm servicing within this area. I'm giving a neighborhood discount. I'm doing 20% off just for this neighborhood, right? So use the neighborhood saturation strategy where when you book one home, you go to the next 10 to 20, I would say 20 or 30. You let them know that, you're already servicing properties in the area and you're doing a neighborhood discount as well. Bonus number 2, I'm not going to do a drum roll because my drum roll actually sucked. Look professional. This is important. Now, this is what I want to say to this. A lot of times when you hear look professional, sometimes the first thing you can think of is wear a suit. Look, you don't want to go in and just wear a suit. And the reason I say this is for a couple of reasons. One, you're going to sweat out the suit depending on the weather. And two, a lot of times when people see a guy in a suit, they tend to close off more. And the reason is because a lot of times men or women in suits, or we'll say, because I'm a guy, I'm going to say men in suits, right? A lot of times men in suits or people in suits kind of represent like business value to business type of people. And a lot of times, going back to that, not wanting to actually, create a sales pitch, it comes off as a sales pitch, right? You in your suit comes off as a walking sales pitch. And so what you want to do is just have a branded shirt, right? You can have like a jeans or just some nice slacks with a branded shirt. Your shirt could be a collar shirt, or maybe like a shirt, regular shirt with just a logo, some type of branded shirt. You want a clean appearance, right? You don't want to come through, looking crazy. That's a good way to say it. Something like we say in Florida. Like, you want to come through looking crazy, right? You want to come through looking clean. You want to come through with a clean appearance. Printed flyers. Printed flyers are really good, right? When you have these printed materials, simple pricing sheet, right? These things make it easy, especially a simple pricing sheet, right? If you have a printed flyer with a simple pricing sheet, maybe someone may see it and say, hey, I like it. They look professional. They have everything they needed. They have some type of resource that I can hold on to, especially if they do want to actually consider you. You have a simple pricing sheet. They can see that, right? They can see that and say, maybe they may book with you on the spot because they like the price that much. And another one that sets people apart. I was talking about this in my previous video. How are you setting yourself apart? How are you setting yourself apart? QR code to the booking page. Someone might say, hey, like, how do I book? Like, okay, out of curiosity, how do I book? Boom, here's a QR code right here. If you want, you can even book now. Very simple. I'll show you how to book, right? And so that QR code I talked about this in my video with Google reviews. You want to decrease the amount of barrier it takes for a client to book with you. And the easiest way to do that is to have that QR code to that booking page so they can book straight with you. So, not only did I give 3, but I gave 5 strategies that actually work when it comes to door-to-door. So I hope you guys, take the strategy. Once again, you guys can take a picture now. You guys can pause the video, write it down, right? They always say that people that write things down tend to remember them more. So definitely write them down as well. Once again, I want to say thank you for being here and watching this video. This coffee is getting me, man. But I want to say thank you for being here and watching this video. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell notification button so that you can actually get a notification where we drop videos. We drop videos every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Once again, if you're not new to the channel, once again, thank you for sticking with me and rocking with me and watching the videos. Whether you are new or old to the channel, please go watch the rest of the video. If you have a comment in the comment section. If you felt that you got value from this video, or you felt the passion I put in to give you some value from this video, hit the thumbs up button. Like I said, it means everything to me. Once again, go to the links below in the details. You can actually join the free community that we have as well, book a one-on-one consultation. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.